Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite subjects, which is recoil. Now, how you can get the most recoil possible out of your MWS rifle. So I've got a couple of different MWSs now, if you've been following my channel. This is one, which is basically my Mk18 setup. This is the one that I have as my heavy recoil system. And I also have another setup, which is a lightweight setup, which I've got just here. And this one is set up to have very, very low recoil. And I'm going to go over the details of exactly why I did that as well. So, before we get into the meat of it, I just want to say thank you to all the people that subscribe. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, think about doing it, and you'll get updates on when I'm doing cool stuff to my guns. So, right, what have I done in order to maximise the recoil in this gun? So, there are a couple of different things that you can do. You can change the spring in the back. So if you go for something like an 80% spring, there's going to be less resistance and it's going to kick back a little bit harder. So the first thing that you can do is get a slightly lower percentage spring in the back. The next thing that you're likely to do is to swap out the buffer. And the one that you're probably going to be looking at is the Angry Gun heavy buffer. So that's exactly what I've got installed in here. So I'm just going to take it out and just show you it. So this is the Angry Gun heavy recoil buffer. It's not bad. However, if you do buy one of these, the pin will break itself. So there's a pin right here that is basically supposed to stop this part here from shooting up and firing off. It bends and it breaks. It's not a particularly well made component. The actual weight itself is great, 176 grams versus 24 for the stock one. So there is a big increase in weight there, and it does translate to more recoil, which you'll see in a sec. But yeah, just be aware of it. So after you've fired a few hundred rounds, what I did with mine is I had quite a crappy old Allen key, and I forced it through the hole and then cut it off. And you can probably see that I've not really got it perfect, but there's a little bit of a ridge there, but it doesn't actually matter. It's been like this for a couple of years now, and I've not had any problems. But yeah, when you first get it, it's likely that part is going to break. So just every so often take it out, have a look, see if it's trying to walk itself out or something, because it probably will be. So look out for that when you buy one of these. Right, and so the last thing that you can do to maximise your recoil is to add a little bit of weight to the end of your actual bolt. So this is actually a stock TM bolt, so that's the normal finish. I actually just ended up polishing part of it. I hoped that it would come out to mirror shine. It didn't, but it does mean that when I got the BCM engraved, it looks pretty cool. But what I've done here is a company called WeTech. They do different weights of buffer, and this is actually a steel end weight. So I've had this on here for quite a while now. So this also adds a little bit of extra weight to the buffer, to the actual bolt itself. So enough of me talking about it. Let's get to shooting it. So the difference in weight of the actual moving parts is, in this one here, we've got it's an empty mag, clear chamber, green gas in here, not black gas, nothing special. This is 425 grams of mass shifting back and forward. So, not bad, like pretty cool recoil. So I've got the gun rested on a bipod at the moment, so hopefully this is going to be the best example of the recoil. So at the moment in here we've got a lightweight bolt, we've also got the original TM buffer spring and the original TM buffer. So let's hold the bolt catch. You can kind of see the rail here, like that's probably the clearest example of the recoil that we're getting. now what I'm going to do is split the rifle, and all we're going to do is take out this buffer and swap it with the heavy one. So exactly the same thing, so the only change is that buffer. Okay, so you can see that that is recoiling quite a bit more. That has been a big change. So next thing, we're going to remove the lightweight bolt, and unfortunately I can't actually get the steel end off this one, so I can't give you an example of what the actual stock bolt setup is like, but this is about as close as I can get to it. So again, this is the maximum recoil setup, so the heaviest bolt that I've got and the buffer as well. Pretty nice. Again, very snappy. And the last combo I'm going to do is I'm going to take this buffer out and put the original stock one back in. Okay. Okay. Put that down. Fresh mag, exactly the same situation, but now we're going to be using this one here. So the buffer is like 24 grams. The actual bolt itself is a lightweight bolt. So this entire setup, in other words, the parts that are moving back and forwards here, are 153 grams. So 153 versus 425. So this is going to recoil a lot less. Well, or it should do. Again, empty mag. Let's see if that really is true. It's just a tap driver. It doesn't move. It just doesn't move. The reason that I have it set up like that, as you'll see, I've got a magnified optic on the back here. So if you're running any kind of magnification on your gun, you probably don't want massive amounts of recoil, because it's going to make it really hard to track that BB. So if you're thinking about like maximising your recoil on your gun, which I wanted to do, I thought about it, and actually the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to maximise the recoil on like a CQB gun. But if you're going to be going out running a 3x or some sort of variable magnification optic, just think about like how easily you're going to be able to track the BB through the scope, if that's what you want to do. You might just be looking over the top of the gun, so you won't care. But for me, I like to use my optics properly. I don't know, it's pretty weird for airsoft, I know, but I like to do that. That's just me. So I actually wanted this to have like the lowest amount of recoil possible, and it's really good that I can actually just swap this into the other and vice versa, and you know, I can have a high recoiling long range rifle. And what I'm going to bring you in another video is a mod that I've also done in order to convert this gun into a semi-auto. So if you're thinking about using something like a Tokyo Marine MWS as a DMR rifle, and I know that a lot of sites sort of have something against that, there are videos of people shooting 5.56 out to 1,000 yards. I don't know, I'm not a real gun expert, I don't know much about real guns, but I do know that for like, it might be, that's like a marksman, isn't it, if you can shoot something at 1,000 yards. So, you know, I think there's a fair argument that if you're running, 35 round mags and you're restricting yourself in such a way that, yeah, it's a good thing. But yeah, I'll show you guys how to do that, because I've got a selector that I have, I've dremelled it out, and it now, when you flick it to full auto, it only fires on semi. So it's yeah, it is quite a handy thing to have, just in case you ever come to need it. But that wasn't the purpose of today's video. Today's video was recoil, so hopefully you've had an idea of like the difference that you get with the recoil using more of a kind of a stock setup, and actually if you're trying to maximise your recoil, like what that's actually like. It's still crisp even with the heavy setup. It's still very snappy. I've never had any problems. I can't outrun it. I'm not the fastest trigger finger in the world, but yeah, I can't outrun it. I definitely couldn't outrun this. This way too snappy. But yeah, it's been fun bringing this to you. So yeah, if you've got any questions, obviously leave them in the comments. But there are going to be more videos coming up, and hopefully at some point I'm going to get some better camera equipment so I can actually bring you some more long range stuff and the actual kind of things that I would really like to show you. So until then, yeah, take care guys, and well, that's it. Yeah, I never know what my sign off is. I really need to like figure one out, but yeah, just take care.